Hello there. How can I help you? Can I get you anything? Yes, we are running a little bit low as it is towards the end of our serving day. But I believe we have ale, we have port, red wine, whiskey. I do. There's not much left, but we have some bread, some cheeses. Of course, you take your time. Why don't you get yourself comfortable? Take off your coat. Yes. And I will be back to serve you in just a moment. Some more light for you. It is indeed a very stormy night. Spring is always like this. 1 minute it's sunshine and rainbows. The next it's storms, rain, thunderstorms, hail, sometimes even snow. We're rather high up here. We do get the snow quite late into the season. I don't think I've seen you around these parts before. Are you traveling? That's exciting. So this is your first time here. Let me guess. You'll either be looking to visit our local medium. She is known quite greatly throughout these parts. One of the best there is. Her seances have wait lists of many, many days, many people. Or you're here for the fairies. It's the only 2 reasons people come to visit this place. I guessed correctly. Both interesting. Are you staying up at the bed and breakfast beside the woods? Madame Hiti is an interesting woman, but I'm sure you'll have a comfortable stay. Now, what can I be getting you? You'll start with some ale. Of course. It is a kind of golden ale. Tastes a little bit like summer. You may taste a little bit of apple, crisp apple on your tongue. It's rather nice. We do have a dark ale as well. It's a stout. Delight you. Just nothing like a nice ale to relax to at the end of a long traveling day. I'm sure we'll have plenty more. Some are filled with mutton, some with beef. The local butcher makes them with the baker, of course, and they are a delight. Now for your cheese quiz. I do know quite a bit by the fairies of this of all words, but it depends who's asking. We are relatively secretive about it in these parts, for we do not want to aggravate or upset the fairies. You know yourself, or you should know if you're looking to find one, that any misstep in your journey may lead you to a life of misfortune. They are very unforgiving creatures, and they do not like to be disturbed, especially not sought out. However, if you make friends with a fairy, they may grant you a wish, which is what I am assuming you're here for. Thought so. Just slice you some bread. We're at the last of the loaf for the day. There are some nice little sweetness pieces through this. Some dates, apricots, figs through the bread. It is delightful. Cheese. Keep them wrapped in a paper bag. Keeps them good. There we are. Is this okay for you? Chris, I'll sit this down right here by your beer, your ale, the tankard, and your candle. Now do tell me, I'm rather intrigued. Have you done your research on thistlefields? Where to find the fairies? You were hoping to speak to a local. Well, I can tell you a few things. I've had many conversations with different patrons. There's one man. He frequents the tavern perhaps every other month. He claims to have spoken to a fairy, not just having seen one, which some claim, but he claims to have spoken to a fairy, and he believes that case, if he continues visiting the woods, leaving gifts by the doors, that he will be granted a wish. Now, have you thought about gifts? Well, that is the question. Nobody knows what each fairy prefers, and each fairy prefers something different. If you give the wrong gift, you could anger the fairy. They see it as a sign of disrespect, according to folklore, of course. So you must choose wisely. If I was heading into the woods, I would think a fairy ought to want something useful. Perhaps something sweet. I imagine they may love something sweet. They don't often get it there. Or something they could use to build. That is just a thought. As I said, I do know a little about the Sylpha Woods. I have travelled there before. It is a beautiful woods, and many often visit here just to see its wonderful sights, not just for the fairies. The entrance or the pathway is close to this tavern, did you know? Yes, you can access the woods from just a little over to the left. And on a warm summer's day, even a warm spring day, the sights, sounds, and smells are just wonderful. In spring, the woods, the ground is covered in daffodils and tulips that sway gently in the breeze. Blossom covers the trees, and the sun twinkles down through the bare branches. But in the summer, that is when the real magic comes alive. There are thousands upon thousands of trees, many different kinds, various shades of greens. Some say there are tree spirits in the woods, so you ought to be careful. The tree spirits won't do you any harm as long as you leave their trees alone. Should you try to chop down a tree or pick leaves from its branches, then that is another matter entirely. Aggravating tree spirits is not for the weak-hearted. Some say it's not only the fairies that can bestow forced enchantments upon you. The tree spirits can too. But as you'll find in summer, many of the trees are covered in fruits and berries, and those are okay to pick. The tree spirits provide plentiful fruits and berries for all. I suppose it is spring. There won't be much fruit for you to see on your journey this time. But you'll be privy to the blossoms. There are little streams as well that bisect the path, so just be aware and do follow the path. It is extremely surprisingly easy to get lost in the woods. Some have disappeared, never to be seen again. Rumor has it that they're often whisked away to the fairy realm, if you believe in such things. I doubt it. I think they probably just get lost and unfortunately succumb to the natural elements of nature. But as long as you follow the path, you will find your way home, and that is very important. Should you venture from the path, make sure to, tie some cloth or ribbon to the nearby trees so you can find your way back. For it's unlikely the fairies will be found on the path if that's what you're looking for. Now, how is your cheese and breads? Good. Great. Excuse me one moment, I'll be back. Hi there, sir. Welcome to the tavern today. What can I get you? Okay. Not a problem. Do you have wine? We're almost out of bread. Yes, it's been rather popular today. Although we are due a new supply run soon. Here. That'll be 2 shillings, please. Thank you. Can I get you anything else? I am just out of bread. No, that is fine. We only have broth left. Okay, that's fine. Well, if you change your mind, do let me know. Now, there are 4 of you in this tavern. I don't often get so many patrons this late. Maybe one, a regular Johnny over there, but not 3 unknowns. Am I missing anything? Are there many of you heading to the woods? Oh, I see. It's perhaps the seances that the others are here for. You mentioned that you were hoping to go. Madame Hester is indeed very good at her craft. This town is a little more strange. That's how my mother used to say it. Strange as opposed to other places you may know through the land. We do believe in a lot of folklore and spiritualness and, well, spirituality and all that. Now, the seances do have a wait list. Have you placed your name down on that? Oh, you are very prepared. Well, if you know Madame Hester personally, I'm sure she will be delighted to see you at her seance tomorrow. Is there anybody you're looking to contact from the dead? I see. Well, I do hope you're able to speak to her. I'm sure they will come through. They can be very high energy, just be aware. I have been to a few before. There's often fainting chanting, strange ongoings, movement of things, like chairs move, and cups and tankards, and though don't tell anyone, but I'm sure once before I saw a string. I'm not saying anything, I'm just saying I saw a piece of string, and it was strangely attached to the bottom of a tankard. Now, think of that what you will, but it made me wonder a little if the theatrics were, not saying not real or fabricated, I'm saying perhaps there's an element of drama that is added to improve your experience. So go in with an open mind. Of course, there is a greengrocer's further down the street. Perhaps you'd be best visiting before your journey to the woods. I would take yourself a basket of food to do a few days, just in case. You never know with these storms. You could be caught out in something like this. You would need to seek shelter, hamper down for a little while. I do believe the folk are expecting tomorrow to be a beautiful day. When do you intend to visit the woods? Tomorrow's your seance. The day after. How long do you plan to stay here for? Wonderful. Wonderful. I hope you don't mind. It's been a little while since I've had some food. Oh my. And that bread is also tough. Still tasty nonetheless. Have you heard of the fairy dance that fairies may sometimes do to your back? It is rather wonderful. It is just a little rumor, but I like to believe it's true. Will I show you? So, I say the fairy dance, some call it the fairy tickle. It is a ritual in which a fairy might try to get your attention, and you will experience a deep pleasure, tingles that erupt down your spine. And there's a ritual that we do here that we call the fairy tickle or the fairy dance that invokes a very similar reaction. Would you like me to do it on you? Okay, you must turn around. Okay, are you ready? You can close your eyes if you think it'll help aid. Okay. Dot, dot, line, line, spiders crawling up your spine. Tight, squeeze, cool, please. Crack an egg on your head. And now you've got the shimmer. Shimmer, 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 shimmer. Did you get that intense, tingly feeling. Slightly. We'll do it again. Are you ready? Dot, dot, line, line. Spiders crawling up your spine. Tight squeeze. Cool breeze. Crack an egg on your head. And there you've got the shiveries. One more time for good luck. Okay. Dot, dot, lane, lane. Spiders crawling up your spine. Tight squeeze. Cool breeze. Crack an egg on your head. And there you've got the shiveries. Shiver, 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 shiver. Shiveries. Shiver, 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 shiveries. Well, I have known that since I was a little kiddo. My mother used to do it to me. So we'll call it the fairy tickle. Perhaps you can even share that when you head back home. If you don't manage to find a fairy, that is. I do hope you're not trying to entrap one. Good, good. As long as you're promising that you're not, because, as I said, they don't take too kindly to that, and you could get yourself into a lot of bother. Oh, one moment. This, I have something for you. Here, take these with you. These are beautiful herbs, medicinal herbs. If you place them in some water, let them brew, even if you collect some water by the stream, and you're feeling unwell, faint, tired, these herbs are very energizing. They will help you feel better and you'll be able to get home safely. Do take them with you. Yes, here you are. Oh, it's no problem at all. I often try and help when I can. I have many of them, different ones, to help with different things, but I do always encourage that you use those. The lavender of the moon. They are wonderful, wonderful little flowers. Well, it is getting rather late. Yes, we are due to close the tavern doors, but you are able to stay here as long as you'd like. Some of our patrons do sometimes sit and enjoy through into the late hours, but I must be getting to bed. Of course, if there's anything that you need at all, I just have a cot right here, so do ring on the bell. But it is getting, yes, slightly too late, and I must be up early in the morning. Of course, well, I will leave